EIU head coach Chris Wilkerson, the team coming off a loss to number 4 ranked Illinois State this past weekend. This is their open date. They'll be back in action when they begin association play on September 27th against Western Illinois. So, Coach, just some general thoughts about your team and the ISU game, and then we'll go to some questions.
Yeah, thanks. Again, I was pleased with some things and we took another step forward as a team. But there's still an awful lot for us to clean up and some things that we've got to figure out here this week. As we prepare ourselves for the next 8 straight conference games and 9 straight, during the course of the season. So there was some bright spots and some things that we were pleased with and some growth as a team. But still an awful lot to clean up. We're still trying to kind of figure out who we are this year as a team. I think we've got a much better idea about who we are and what we can be. And now we've got to learn from all these mistakes and lessons that we've had the first 3 weeks as we get ready for certainly 8 straight conference games.
Thanks, Coach. Then you mentioned that some things to clean up. I guess two parts. Is the bye week come at a good time? And then how do you plan to use this bye week heading into that association opener?
Yeah, it really does for us. Again, we're still kind of trying to figure out exactly who we are. You've kind of seen a game and a half of a different look, and then the last 6 quarters of another different look for us, at least offensively. And we've got an awful lot of things we've got to clean up. The bye week we'll use very much to develop fundamentals and continue to improve as a football team. We kind of go back and reteach some things, and now we'll do a deeper dive into our self scout with what we have kind of shown through the first 3 weeks situationally. We'll do a little bit of advanced scout, certainly on our conference opponents. And then really, to be honest with you, we've got some situational things that we have got to continue to improve on. So whether it's tempo, both offensively and defensively, 2-minute offensively and defensively, third downs, offensively and defensively, and then blitz, whether again it's pickup offensively or handling pressure or being able to blitz defensively, are our four main areas that we've got to take another step forward over these next 3 days. And then our guys will get a chance to recover a little bit Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll get a head start on our first conference game on Monday.
You've had two different quarterbacks set school records this year. Cole had 193 rushing yards, and then Connor, freshman record, 411 passing yards. Have you seen anything like that, having two different quarterbacks do that this early in the season?
No, no, I haven't. Again, they're both, outstanding football players. They're both competitors. They're both winners. I talked about it early in the preseason as they were still going through the competition that they'd both quarterbacked their high school teams to state championships. Again, and Cole had the reins and certainly played very well in the opener and got us a win and did some special things with his feet. Um, he was a little banged up going into the Indiana State game and then sustained an injury, unfortunately. And it was a great opportunity for Connor, and he did play well that second half. And Cole was unable to compete this last week, and Connor took advantage of every opportunity and has a very good grasp of our offense. He does a phenomenal job just getting the ball out on time with anticipation and accuracy. And he really did against it was a very, very good football team that we played on Saturday, and he did a nice job getting the ball out of his hands and gave us a chance. We cut the lead to 5, and we've got him in a 3rd and 14, and we just didn't get off the field in the fourth quarter. But there's going to be some competition there, and if I had to guess, they're probably both going to play, and maybe even some together. But it's a good problem to have, and Cole's healthy now, and Connor's certainly coming off of a great week. We're looking forward to watching them compete as we go forward as a football team.
For the third time since you've been in EIU, your staff has found a punter either through recruiting or the portal. What's your early impressions of Mason Miller?
Oh, he's been steady. Great young man. We brought Mason here during the winter term, and he's been great from the day he walked on campus. And the biggest thing is he's been very consistent. Again, he's a great person. He's a great student. But his football performance, he's very rare does he have the odd off drop or punt. So we've been very pleased with his continued development. Certainly, it's something that we've got to continue to improve on and maintain with the punting. The net punt has been pretty good for us, but we had a little bit of problem with coverage early in the season, and last week was even a little bit better. But we've got to do a better job covering kickoffs and returning kickoffs as a group, and then certainly want to try to get our punt return going a little bit. But punt has been the leader of our special teams, certainly led by Mason.
Would you say fans don't really notice it till it goes wrong, right? So when it's steady, it's good for your team.
That's exactly right. When you punt from your own end of the field and you got a chance to at least pin them at their 25-yard line, or every once in a while you completely seesaw field position. Saturday, he was able to punt a 65-yard punt and pin our opponents inside their 5-yard line. And then all of a sudden people do obviously notice it. But yes, they more often than not notice it when you have a punt blocked or when you shank a punt. And then everybody in the stadium wants to know, well, who's the punter? But no, he's done a phenomenal job. He keeps his head down. He continues to work on his craft. I know early in the season, he had a couple pooch punt situations that he was frustrated with. He felt like he had just, let us down and didn't pin him inside the 20, and we ended up with a touchback. But he's a master of his craft. He's very detailed, and I'm looking forward to watching him continue to compete and grow this fall.
Well, thanks, Coach. That's all we got for you this morning. Appreciate your time. Hope everything goes well in the open day, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks a million. Go Panthers.